we've made a giant leap in the information available to us, right? In the relative history of our time span. It's a lot of information. It's like our brains are just constantly processing. We've progressed to 24-hour news stations. Like, it's just, we're getting hit with a lot, and it's good to hit the pause button.
You just feel free out there, really free. Free to make your own choices, free to make your own mistakes.
24 degrees southeast. 24 southeast. Yeah.
Rounding the corner of a trail and having a view open up, and you're only hearing your own labored breath. It's a calming moment. It's like, it's for whatever reason, you know, that's when I can truly just be in a moment.
Yeah.
Rocky Mountain front has a little connection to my past. My dad and grandfather, who passed away, used to take me up a little close to where we were at. There's a Sun River game range that's a little ways away. We used to go down there, elk hunt, deer hunt all the time, and I actually got my first deer out there, so it's good memories, and especially with my grandpa who passed away, so every time we go up there, talk to grandpa a little bit. And his ashes are actually spread up there on, what is it, Castle Reef, so.
I mean, the front is just such a special place. Like, anybody from this area, if they've been there, they know. Yeah, so I've always really loved the front. My mom had a cabin out at Benchmark, which is west of Augusta. And so growing up, going into the cabin in Benchmark, some of my best childhood experiences, just living up there in the summer, going to the lake, hiking around, like, doesn't get much better, and it's just the most beautiful country, really. Cool geology. I mean, you're out there, and like the continental plate just like up over the other plate, and so like all these little trilobite fossils that were down like ocean floor are now on the top of this mountain, and you're up there and you're like looking at rocks and you're like, how did that get up here?
Good.
They look ridiculous, but keep your feet warm.
What's the game plan today?
Oh, I'll drink some coffee, eat a burrito, hang out at camp. Then we'll make a push for the top again.
It's definitely a grind. It's not like riding a chairlift where you're to the top of the mountain every 10 minutes and you're back down to the bottom in 2 minutes, and then getting on and doing it again. Like, we're doing 3 runs in a day, and it's like hour hike up in between each run. And so it's a lot more involved and a lot more effort, but that also makes it that much more worth it and that much more fun.
Oh, this trip for me came an adventure as soon as I started hauling that toboggan. That was a game changer. I'd never really done anything like that where I'm pulling a sled with a heavy backpack on, and that was where it started for me. We got to where we wanted to camp. I'd never winter camped before, so learning how to set up camp and what we did, and kind of looking back now, maybe what we could have done a little differently, you know, is good adventure material there. And then especially this is a zone that I had never been to, so I was totally just going off of AJ's knowledge and his expertise and kind of just leaning on him really hard. And that's a little different for me personally, because, you know, normally I like to lead the charge, but I don't have a problem with somebody knows a little more than me, is sitting back and just letting them go and trying to learn as much as possible. Following AJ anywhere is an adventure.
That would be nice though to have a helicopter drop us off.
Yeah, I mean, we would have made like 50 runs instead of 5. Yeah, why do I snowboard? I don't know. It's fun. I guess that's like the most simplistic way to put it.
I'm gonna go to the top and ski one long round down.
What about Max?
Maybe one more, Max.
What about Max?
Come on, son! Shine your big son down! Hallelujah!
Were you recording that?
Yeah, no, Max is a great friend. We've been friends since back in high school. Been snowboarding for almost just as long together. And yeah, so we've been riding pretty hard the last 7 years since he moved back from Schweitzer. So it's been always a good time riding with Max.
And I'll let you guys go ahead since this is gonna be the first burn.
Oh man,
So,
Scott was the man. He
Keep it going.
got us all set up with the camp, taught us how to do everything, not just set it up and you hold this, you hold this. He's actually showing us the way to do it.
You ready, Max? Yep. All right, tortillas up. Perfect.
And then while we were out the first day digging a pit to test the snow, he was down at camp burning the stove, getting all the off-gas crap burnt off, and then he started melting snow for us, so we had plenty of water.
I'm actually running out of places to put the water I'm melting.
Ran out of bottles to put the water in. He's, make sure you drink all your water up there because we're gonna fill it up when you get back.
Just hope you're not watering down the bottle of Jameson.
No, I'm selfish, not rude.
Yeah, first impression of Scott, he just loves to be outdoors. That guy is at home out there, and even when we were coming out, he was like, man, I could do 3 more weeks back here. And I was like, holy cow, that is not my style. I like, you know, a couple days and I'm ready to get back to society a little bit.
It'd be extremely difficult to pinpoint the first time I felt like I wanted to be outdoors. It was probably shortly after birth, but I don't recall. It's got a foot or so of snow on top of it, so could have been a kill site or maybe a little overnight day. Yeah, and when we talk about comfort, it's relative. You know, some people, it's the reason we have a Motel 6 and a Waldorf Astoria, right? Like, people can accept certain levels of comfort. The same is true in the backcountry. Some people, you know, walk to pre-established cabins and then back. Some people pack in on horses. Some people backpack. Some people carry next to nothing. Like, it's a gradient, like wherever you want to be. comfort, you know, the ability to just say I'm okay in this moment comes from having chopped enough firewood, gathered enough snow to melt into water, and being able to, for me, the comfortable factor is I can just stop and be in that moment. So for finding a location to, you know, go out and stay for a couple days, there have to be certain resources. Winter makes that kind of easy with the snow. We got water everywhere. All right. So we had to find a place that was safe for the snowboarding that we wanted to do.
Yep.
You know, those decisions and those criteria, when you're looking at a map, just kind of whittle themselves down. You can start crossing off places.
Started down there in that draw. We've skied up about 2.5 miles.
Yeah, so we went up the week before so we could dig a couple snow pits and really assess the layers and see what was going on. Dug snow pits on a couple different aspects because they're affected by the weather, completely different. Like you could get wind loading, you could get sun affecting the snow, and all those things can contribute to really good conditions or really sketchy avalanche conditions that you want to stay away from. So yeah, always scoping it out and digging a pit, bringing avalanche gear so you can rescue your buddy if he gets buried. It's always a good idea. Definitely still something to keep in mind, but pretty good results on the pit. So I think sticking to this aspect and slope angle. Also good having Scott out there with his Marine veteran medical training. Like felt pretty comfortable having him as a backup. Like if anything happened to any of us, he'd be right there and on it.
Scott, what was your highlight of the day?
I don't know. Seeing those guys on the ridge.
Just skylighted.
Just like, damn, they went for it all the way to the top. All right, hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, for the most part, I was just kind of in my head thinking about the line that we're gonna take and what kind of dangers we were gonna potentially see. I didn't really have time to think about being afraid or stoked about it. It was just like, okay, we're up here. This is what we're gonna do.
See all the way into the bob and just everything in the front, from the plains deep into the mountains, endless mountains back there. Like, yeah, run 2 on day 2 was epic.
We're already down here. You guys up top. Dropping in 10.
The most free feeling you can get riding powder in big mountains.
After AJ dropped in and he disappeared out of sight, I got some time to think about it and I was like, whoa, this is pretty cool. This is probably one of the coolest lines I've ever done in my entire life. You hike and hike and hike and hike and hike and get a minute of a run for all that work, so just gotta enjoy it. As I dropped in there, I really thought about every turn and just enjoying every little second of it. We did it safely as you can. We did the line right next to it first and then checked the snow and felt like it was solid enough that it was safe enough to do that line, which was epic. It came off the top, did a little air in off the cornice, and then it was just going nice through this awesome powder, through the chutes of rocks. Did a couple little cliff drops, but man, that was the run. I think they're right there next to each other. I think for me personally, the most stoke I can get is when I'm pushing the limit and kind of getting out of my comfort zone and maybe scaring myself a little bit. And then after you're done, hopefully nothing went bad and you're like, yeah, survived.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely learn how to like overcome like hard things sometimes when you're in the mountains. Like, it's never easy. Like, it seems like it might be easy. You watch a video and you're like, oh, they just made it right up and rode down and everything was good. But it's always a lot of effort. So you learn like, I don't know, I guess what you're made of and like how to push yourself and kind of, yeah. Or, I mean, just new techniques when you're out doing stuff. I guess it transfers to like real life, just keeps you motivated for the next time you're going out. If you can overcome that, like small stuff in life seems pretty minuscule and pretty minor. Like when you're out there, like it's kind of life and death, or you could get like seriously injured. So I don't know, just, yeah, keeps you motivated.
It's good to go out in the woods and recenter yourself, because you just get distracted by everything. We're caught up in social media and politics and what's the world doing, and sometimes you just gotta kind of focus on yourself. A lot of that noise is just extra stress that if you can't really do anything about it, you don't need to stress about it. And when you go out in the woods and, I mean, you put your life kind of on the line, because, I mean, you're out there by yourself or with a good crew and you're relying on them and yourself to get you through it. So it really quiets down all the nonsense and you kind of realize what's super important. And it's good meditation out there too. Be at the top of a peak looking out, especially after we were up at the top and AJ dropped and I was up there by myself for about 3 minutes and no music, nothing, just staring out, and all I could hear was the wind and just looking and seeing the amazing views. And it was very, very good to like, oh yeah, this is what it's about right here. Just living it the best you can.